Can Alex push it?
Get a nice shot of my ass.
At least in here it slides on the carpet.
Here we go. We call this the birth canal.
Just a little further. My bad.
Does this look manly? Got my hammer. It's time to open this. As you can see, we have our customary tape job keeping the crate closed, which I love. I love that. Is the whole thing just taped on? Yikes.
What's in the box?
It's a laser. That's a big boy in there.
Daddy.
That's a fat little chunker. It's a chonky boy. Shoot through. Well, first of all, we should see if it's not too bad. We might be able to do this. We might be able to just lift it out. You want to try?
Okay.
All right, we'll see if you think you can do it. If not, we'll get Chris. Yeah, straight up. 1, 2, 3. How's that feel?
Not too bad.
Now we can get under it.
I can, yeah, get under it.
All right.
Go.
Okay, weight check.
Yeah.
Pass.
Okay.
It's not too heavy.
Yeah, you didn't look too bad, dude.
It's not too bad. There's the ass right there. You get a good look at the ass. God damn. Over here, you can see the top wisdom controller. Top wisdom controllers are supported by Lightburn. I'm gonna do the little flipperoo. Not strong, but I'm not weak. I love having plastic stuck under the screws, so that'll be fun to look at forever.
It's a very cute.
Ugh. Ooh. Look at this. You can like actually see the tube back there chilling. You see it? We're gonna have to probably open that at some point to inspect. I'm really nervous about that. How are you supposed to get in here? 65 watts, you were right. We got the 65 watt version. That's a big boy machine right there. There's literally nothing I can do about it. All right, you ready to see inside? Ready for the big open? Here we go. Styrofoam. Hey, at least it's well packed. I'll take styrofoam. Well, we got a honeycomb bed, as you can see. It's like reverse Tetris. Okay, that's the first major issue. Well, take a look. Look at it a little higher up, straight down at the gantry. Tell me if you noticed anything. Are you serious? Look at the gantry, dude. It is not parallel. Oh, man. Oh, ugh. I don't like that. That's concerning. It looks straighter after I forced it. Damn. Oh. All right, well, we're gonna have to come back to that. There's your honeycomb bed right there. It's nice and plastic wrapped. And these are blades for the knife bed. I'm just gonna show you guys what came in the box of goodies real quick. We're just gonna kind of flip through it. This is all stuff you'll have seen before. USB cable for the controller. This is a USB drive. It probably has Top Wisdom's auto laser software on it, but we'll see, maybe Lightburn. We got a bunch of hex wrenches. We have laser goggles here. They're just green acrylic, garbage. And a power cable, and I'm assuming some kind of depth gauge. I don't really know what we're gonna do with that just yet. It includes some exhaust tubing, which we've not thought about at all, how we're going to exhaust this laser. So we'll have to give that some consideration. An aquarium pump, because then we'd be like feeding the hose into just like a bucket of water. But they sent us a chiller, yeah, so we shouldn't need this. Yikes. This is all the little doodads that you guys can see on the table, including the crappy glasses that we're never gonna use. Everything else looks decent, nice long USB cord, solid power cord, some useful tools. We will approach this table and gather these items as needed as we continue with the installation. I was just messing around a little bit. I think I got the gantry mostly straight. We'll see how that does. Also, I'm gonna take a minute and just get the knife bed and the honeycomb table in. While I do that, do you wanna do maybe like a little dusting? Shiny reflective acrylic is a fingerprint magnet. Oh my God, this is so dull. Huzzah. Look at that. Ooh, why? I'm not that picky, but this is fucking so aggravating. It's not even funny. All right.
Try not to touch the other parts.
Just kind of like loose in here. One thing I am concerned about is that the front doesn't sink down past the blades, but the back does, which means this whole thing is now tilted this way. I guess we're gonna take them all out. Maybe we can like just shove them that way. It'll be fine. Let's see if that resolves our issue. Yes, that works, I guess. It's not very satisfying, but it is technically correct. Oh, you know what this is? Autofocus. That's what that is. We have a little blue fan back here. There you go. Wow, it's just so, it's such a dust magnet, and you can feel the static electricity like on my arm hairs.
Oh, that's the shot.
Yikes. So this thing's gonna be a major dust magnet because it's literally the entire top of this machine is just acrylic, just transparent acrylic. It may look nice now, but it's not going to forever, and I need to come to terms with that just right now. That is what it is. But otherwise, I do like the design. I like the fins on the side. An interesting power button here. We have our emergency stop, push to stop. Down here, USB-B for connecting to a computer. You have your controller. On the left side, there is nothing. On the rear side here, guys, we've got water, a water inlet. So our cold water goes in, warm-ish water goes out. The only thing that is really lacking as far as like a standard CO2 setup goes is air assist. Is there no air assist on this machine whatsoever? Because that would be bizarre. We do have an air hose. There it is, right there. We've got our air hose. So where does this get air? Where does that get air from? The reason this connector is here is so you can easily unscrew this and plug in a rotary. You can see that actually uses a standard 4-pin connector, so we don't have to do any gymnastics to use our rotary with this. But there's still the mystery of the air. Where is the air entering the system? I think that we've done everything we can without opening the rear of this, and so now it's time to open the rear of this machine. We'll take a look at the tube, maybe see if we can assess the air situation internally. I want to make sure the tube's not broken, especially if we're going to pump a bunch of water into it. This laser is 10,640 nanometers. It's a 65 watt laser. The bed is 600 by 400 millimeters. Like, should I not? Oh, I guess I do have to take those out too. I guess the cool thing is when it inevitably looks like garbage, we can just cut new panels for it on the Mira. We can make it like whatever colors we want.
The Mira's pretty big and nice.
Oh, okay, that is not, I thought this was gonna be connected to this and it would act as like a dual hinge. Nope. No, this is compact, dude. God forbid I ever have to change this tube. You see how tight it is in there? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, very cool.
Oh yeah.
Very cool. We do have more, we could go further, and I think I will. So as far as access goes, guys, this is not an ideal situation, but it is designed to be very compact. And obviously when you get something so compact, it's gonna affect the repairability and the maintainability. At least it can be done though. I'm glad these bolts aren't like hidden somewhere. So I am grateful for that. It's not something I'm hating on, it's just a trade-off. Also, while it does support rotary, this is the maximum depth of the machine. So you're not doing anything that deep in this, you know? You're not gonna put like a dog bowl in here and engrave that. It's gonna be really small cups at best. So needless to say, guys, you're not coming in here regularly to check on things, right? This is This is a bit of a situation. Okay, I got that one out, but we have these on the side now that we have to do. All right, let's take a look.
Yay.
I think. No.
No.
Oh my God, you guys.
Oh no, there is bottom one.
Damn.
Zooming really slowly on it. Oh no.
At some point, I am going to have to put this back panel back on so we can take nice pictures for like the final review or whatever, but I'm gonna be honest, 90% of these screws are not going back in. Probably just gonna do the 4, 2 on each side and call it a day, because I'd never ever want to do that again. That was miserable. I'd rather pay like an extra $100 just to have one with like clips that you can pull and like remove the panel. Even the Ranger has that. It's so much easier to access the insides. But here's what this panel's hiding, guys. Just make sure I'm not being an idiot. I am. Just one more. This is what I mean. This sucks. All right, let's try that again. Here we go.
Hey, that popped off.
Reveal your secrets. So here's what we're working with on the inside. Starting on the left over here, we've got this weird hole, which I'm not sure what that does. You've got your power. It's got a fuse on it. That's nice. Here's an extra outlet. You can plug something in, like a chiller, though I virtually never recommend using this outlet. Get a power strip. Here, you've got your laser power supply. It looks like it's set to 115 volts, which is good. We're on 120 here because we're in the US. So that's where the laser is getting the juice from. We've got our exhaust port here, and then we have another laser power supply. Let's check the voltage on this. This is 24 volts, so this is likely the power supply for the stepper motors. And that is it. So I still literally have no idea how the air is actually making it to the laser head, because we saw it up there. Why is this so confusing? I don't know. I'm about to lift it up and look underneath. I'm not lifting this, but you can see those little rubber feet there. See those? Those look like a pump, like, because usually they have anti-vibratory little rubber feet on there. So they might have like a little fish pump in here that just pumps air through the unit, and that's that. But I don't know, and that's really hard to confirm. There is a built-in air pump. It looks very small. But again, it's a small laser. You're not doing a ton with this. Go ahead and look in the little hole there. So that big kind of blob-ish thing right there that you can't really see, but I can, that's the air pump, yeah. And then in the back, we have our controller hardware, which you also can't get to. So hopefully you don't have to do any maintenance on the controller, because if you want to do that, I mean, at that point, we're removing these panels too. Basically, in order to do any kind of work on this, you have to aesthetically destroy the machine, which is unfortunate. I just wish that it was just a little bit easier to get in. Like, there's all the way around, under every single one of these panels, there's just like a steel box, right? That has things inside that steel box. These panels are just for show. And they look nice. I'm not knocking them for that. It looks very nice, but it is difficult to access anything, to do any kind of maintenance or even assessment of what maintenance will be required. We're not gonna pull the side panel off for now. We know what controllers in there. It's a Top Wisdom. We know that has light burn support. It's not broken. I'm not going to dig into it right this second. We also have our gantry mostly straight, I think. That looks pretty good. This is so sketchy. If we have a problem with it, I guess we'll address that at that time. We have some limit switches up here, so when the gantry head runs into the end of its workspace, it's triggering that limit switch. I'm assuming we have another one for the Y-axis. And I think that's about it, guys. There's not much to show here. It's a very basic, straightforward machine. I just went and reconfirmed the price, which is $17.99. For what you're paying, that's absurdly low. People have very, very high expectations for lasers when they're spending very little money on them. This costs less than the F2 Ultra, and you're getting a 600 by 400 millimeter engraving space. There's a lot of laser here, and it's for very, very little money. So we're expecting things to not be perfect. If you want perfect, guys, you get something like the Mira 9. That's $20,000 of equipment. Okay, that's $20,000 of hardware sitting back there in the corner. This is $1,700. It's 1/10. You can buy 10 of these for the price that it costs to buy one of those. This thing is gonna have some flaws, and that's okay. Finding them is important so that you guys know how to deal with them if you do choose to buy this laser. It's expected. This is all right. I'm not gonna put it back together yet. We're going to slap the back panel on it in a minute, but first I wanna get the chiller open and I wanna get water running through the system to make sure we don't have any leaks or anything we need to address back there before I put it all back together. So next up, we're gonna open the chiller. One thing that's important to remember, guys, as we get this open is that I believe they shipped me a CW 5200, so it's a 5000 series chiller, but the one that they're offering for free on their website with this unit or similar ones, maybe it's the 45 watt, don't quote me on that, is a CW 3000, which is not a refrigerated chiller. It's just a radiative chiller. I don't know if radiative is a word. Any laser really should have a refrigerated chiller. You don't need them for really small tubes, but I would still recommend getting them. The price difference is negligible and it's going to make your tubes last much, much longer. So that's something to keep in mind. But I do expect there to be a 5000 series chiller in here. Inside the box, got some nice corner pieces here, power cord, aviator connectors in there for the alarm system. This is a very basic thing. I was just explaining to Rhiannon that all CW chillers are the same, even if they have branding on the front. They have the same guts inside. They might have a different controller, different branding, slightly different aesthetics. You see this one actually has some nice handles, which I appreciate, but the guts inside are a CW 5200, which means it's a refrigerated chiller, and that's good. That's what we want. It's gonna fit right underneath. Before we do, we're gonna fill it up. This is your water cap, and I'm just going to put as much water in this as possible. Back here, you can see this sensor here will tell you how full it is. This doesn't include the water that needs to fill the actual laser. So once you fill it and run it for the first time, this is gonna drop. So that's something we'll wanna keep an eye on as well. Remember, we're only using distilled water is really what you want in this. You don't want sediment and extra minerals building up inside your lines. Once this is full, we're gonna take this cap, just this cap, and we're gonna fill it with bleach. And we're gonna pour that in, and that'll keep things like algae and mold from growing inside the machines. One cap full of bleach per fill, and that's always worked really, really well for me. We're in a temperature controlled environment, so we don't really need to worry about freezing or anything, but we have videos on that if you're interested in that as well. This is just the cheapest distilled water in the world, guys, but it's distilled water. Generally, you'll want to do this with a funnel, but I can't be bothered right now. I don't want to take the time. I want to get this video out for you. So I'm going to make a mess at first and then try to get my stream aimed up the right way here. So come on, that wasn't bad. No. Oh, that was bad. Well, there's one. Going to number 2.
Oh, look at that mess.
This is why we need a funnel. All right, next thing we need to do is get the water hooked up here. I'm not intending to give a full lesson on this, but I have to do it, and Rhiannon's rolling the camera, so we're gonna talk about it.
Why not? It's been a while, right?
It's been a minute. So, here's the thing. Output, right? Inlet, output. Output is water going out of this to the laser. Inlet is water coming from the laser in. Over here, we know our cold water is blue, so that's gonna go to the output. So we're gonna wrench this on here. At some point, we should put hose clamps on this, but again, I'm not gonna bother right now. It's just the unboxing. I just kind of want to get a job running on it for you guys to see it in action. There's the outlet and the inlet, so we'll get that on. This actually has pretty good prongs on the back. Should hold all right for at least a temporary setup without the hose clamps. All right, we're gonna take our power cord and plug it into our wet device. So we're officially chilling. You can squeeze these. Here, go ahead, squeeze it. Squeeze that one. You feel it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can actually feel the water running through the system, which is good. This is all good so far. And those are the fans. Those are the chiller fans kicking on. Hooray. So with that done, we can now plug in the laser, guys. Get the laser fired up. We'll see how it homes. Maybe try to run something unless we run into a serious problem, which isn't out of the question. The most famous terrible laser I have is the Ohmtech 2820. It's that red and black back there. I paid $2,000 for that thing, guys, and It made me a lot of money, but it was a lot of work. And I know that machine like the back of my hand. This is gonna be a very similar situation where we're just gonna have to put some elbow grease into it to get it working the way we want it to work. That starts by turning it on. So let's get this machine plugged in here. There we go. We actually have fairly nice lighting given the cost here. That is nice to see. The red dot targeting laser is not an inline beam combined laser, okay? It uses this 45-degree angle laser here in the rear. That'll have to be adjusted, but it's usually pretty easy. It's usually just a little screw and we can adjust the angle that that laser is pointing at. That's something that we're gonna wanna keep an eye on before we start working. Additionally, I'm not sure if these mirrors are calibrated in any way. Shouldn't really be able to do that. So that's not ideal, but I shouldn't really be trying to do that either. Don't do that, guys. We can take a look up here at the controller. Let's just get a brief idea of what the controller is about. I've heard of these before, but I've never used one. Jump around here. I mean, this all seems in order. Everything seems to be running okay, so I'm gonna call that a win. From here, we just need to make sure the mirrors are aligned, and that process can suck. I'm not making a video about that right now, so I'm gonna do that, and I'll come back when I'm done, and we can give the machine its first run. I'm gonna go ahead and get started on that. All right, guys, mirror alignment is done, and it was actually pretty good from the factory. It wasn't too bad. One thing I do wanna note really quick, as we're getting ready to test this machine for the first time, this does not have a Motorized Z, which again, $1,700, totally expected at this price point. It's not something that detracts from this machine, but it's something that you should know about in case you don't want to deal with that. One thing that they did do on this, which they didn't do on my old OhmTech, is they actually gave us a nice little hex notch in the top of the knob there. So one thing that you can do with that is actually take something hex fit like this, and you can use this to turn the knob. Now, this on its own is not incredibly useful, but it's as simple as attaching it to a power drill, and all of a sudden you've got a Motorized Z. Check this out. So we'll go ahead and lock this in. And there you go, guys. There's your Motorized Z. So it's not that bad, especially if you've got a power drill sitting around. It's really not that big of a deal to just pop this in and raise and lower it as needed, but it is not powered. So just so that you guys know, that is something that is going on with this machine. But we're all done. I'm ready to hook this thing up to Lightburn. I want to see what it can do. So we're going to go ahead and dig into Lightburn and run a test job. So next thing you guys will see is a test job running on the new Reno 65W Pro. Enjoy. Touch it. Yeah, it is. Don't run your jobs with no exhaust and all of the panels off of the laser. I feel like that shouldn't need to be said, but I'm saying it, so don't do that. Kind of hard to tell if the air assist is on. I think it's on. I feel like I hear it, but it seems really low powered. The kerf looks kind of fat.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's kind of a fat line, and that may be a focus issue. We may have to do like a real ramp test and cut our own focal stick for this. No, it's not there. All right. That's that, guys. There you go. It actually doesn't look too bad. I think this thing is clever, but I don't trust it. We've permanently marked it now. It's scarred. And that was the unboxing of the Monport Reno 65W Pro. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope you got some value out of it. There are a lot of cons to buying a device like this. but almost all of those are worth it for the $1,700 price tag. And we'll break it down a lot more in depth in a final review. This one's definitely getting one. It's a nifty machine. I really like how compact it is. They did a lot to get all of the components they needed to get into something this size. I mean, this barely qualifies as a desktop laser, but I think it does. I think it does qualify as a desktop laser. So yeah, you know, there's a few small things that they could improve on at this price point, but for the most part, I think it's a good elbow grease machine. If you are on a low budget and you need a laser, here it is. There's nothing unfixable about it. There are things that are inconvenient about it, but definitely all can be worked around, at least from what I've seen so far. So keep an eye out for a full review. I did just want to mention really quickly, guys, that from the time we started this uncrating, which was around 1 o'clock, to now, which is 4 o'clock, we got everything done that you saw in this episode done. So
pretty fast.
It was very, very fast. Granted, we know what we're doing. A lot of you guys might be new, and so it might take you longer, but 3 hours for setup is totally kosher. So I just wanted to throw out how long we actually spent making this episode, because it wasn't that long at all, and this thing did pretty well. So I wanted to throw that in too before the episode ended. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. If you did get value out of it, don't forget to smash the like button, let everybody else know the content is good, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified the next time we upload an episode. If you really, really like this one, guys, head over to the Laser Master Academy. It's the #1 way to support the channel. We wouldn't be here without the LMA members. It's a great place to go, learn, meet like-minded individuals with really, really high quality content, questions and answers posted every single day. I think you'll really like it. You can learn more about that over at masters.lasereverything.net. Before we head out,
Hello.
what do you think?
Kind of like you said, it seems cool. I feel like I would have liked this when I was doing the little lanterns in my house. I guess, I don't know if it's that good for cutting, so maybe not, but
We'll have to see.
yeah.
I don't know, guys. Full review coming soon. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you
In the next one.
Bam. Monport. Out.